This is your place for news, talk, and information, your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Hey, welcome, folks. Arif Halaby along with Jeff Gerard on your place for news, talk, and information, Total Financial Solutions, Safer Money Hour. Look, every once in a while we come up with a little bit of a different programming style, and today we're going to talk to Chuck Morris. Now, you might say, what does that have to do with Total Financial Solutions or Safer Money? Because there's a few things. Number one is we're involved as an organization and then personally in my family in making and helping to make this new event that we're talking about here a success. So we'll get to that in just a second. But also keep it real in this world. If you are good with your money, if you have a safety bucket, if you will, of your retirement assets, and if you are proper with the way you save and your spending and all of that, then at the end of your life, and of course we hope throughout, you have a charitable bent to your financial life, meaning you're giving money away. You're putting it towards causes that you believe in. I don't care what the causes are. My goal is for you to have success so that financially you can contribute to the places that make a difference. It's what we do. It's what Jeff does. It's what our families do when it comes to setting aside money for others. So if you can see with us here, if you're watching on SCB TV and of course on the radio, is Chuck Morris. And Chuck is from the Friendly Valley Veterans Association. And Chuck, we have a special event coming up.
Yes, we do.
In a few months. Tell me a little bit about it.
We have the Traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall. It's the American Veterans Traveling Tribute Memorial Wall, which is the largest moving wall in the United States. There are many, but this is the largest. This one actually is 80% the size of the one in Washington.
And how big is the one in Washington?
One in Washington, the exact size I really don't know, but if this is 80%, which is 360 feet long.
This is 360 feet.
And
wow.
8 feet tall at the apex. There are 72 panels to this wall, and each panel is 5 foot wide. And all 58,238 names are etched into the wall. So it is actually the largest replica and the largest moving wall that tours the country. It's based in Flint, Texas. And if you or any of your listeners want to find out more about it, all they have to do is go to avtt.org on their computer, and it'll come up with everything there is to know about the American Veterans Traveling Tribute.
So AV, so just the initials, avtt.org.
Right.
And you can find out more about what the traveling tribute, what it's all about.
Right.
Now, this traveling wall, folks, is pretty exciting.
Yes.
Because this is what's going on, and you need to pay attention for a minute because this is important. If you have any friends or family that served in the Vietnam War, maybe those that are currently serving in the military, and of course, look, I have two uncles, both served in the Vietnam War, and one was one of the youngest of my mom's brothers, and one was the oldest. So they served at different times of the war, and at different events were happening. You know, one was at the beginning who wasn't supposed to be there but was there, and you know, in bases, and I think it was Cambodia or Laos, wherever we weren't supposed to be, he was there, and I guess he still doesn't talk about it to this day. And
many veterans, that from the Vietnam War that do not want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That at all. I mean, it's amazing.
For a lot of reasons. Some they still have a secrecy clearance issue. You know, there's some top secret issues to deal with. And then, of course, some of the memories are quite horrific.
Yes.
And this tribute wall is coming here to Santa Clarita, and the dates of that.
Dates are the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th of September, the last weekend in September. The actual wall will arrive here on the 25th, which is a Wednesday, and it will be escorted up the 5 freeway to Magic Mountain Parkway, and then escorted down Magic Mountain Parkway to the site, which is at the corner of Magic Mountain Parkway and Citrus on the Valencia Town Center Mall parking lot.
Folks, you take a look at the Westfield Valencia Town Center Mall parking lot, basically from Chick-fil-A to Citrus, I guess.
Exactly.
Would you say
exactly,
that?
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity for you to be involved. There's going to be a lot of things happening, and I want to touch on something here in a few minutes that I think your family can get involved with, because we have a limited amount of spaces here in just a minute. But think of it this way. This is a way for us to say thank you, if you will, or acknowledge, or just at least have some respect for those that did what their country asked them to do. No commentary on the war, if you think it's a good or a bad thing, or in the military or current economic, who cares? These are men and women that served. And do we know if there are women that
Yes,
on the
there are
wall?
women
There
on
are.
the wall, absolutely.
Any idea what those numbers might be off the top of your head?
I don't know exactly offhand, but I do know that there are more than 100
Wow.
that are on there.
So this is an opportunity, folks, to come and pay respect to those that have died, given the ultimate sacrifice. Now, the panels are in a particular order. Tell
Yes,
us
they
what
are.
that order is.
Right. There are east side and west side panels. There are 36 east and 36 west.
What does that mean?
That means that there are 36 panels
Right.
from 8 feet down to 4 feet on each side, because each panel is 5 foot wide.
So on both sides
On
of
both
the panel,
sides, there, because
Wow.
if you were to look at it from above, it would look like a V kind of.
Okay.
And then you've got 36 panels on the east side, 36 panels on the west. And as an example, one of our veterans here in Santa Clarita, Bill Reynolds, he belonged to Charlie Company from the Boys of Summer, 67. He lost 47 of his crew on one battle, and he called me and asked me if he could read those names when the wall is up. I said, better than that, why don't you put the walls up? And he said he would love to do that, and their wall 23E and 22E. So those are the walls that he and his buddies that still live here are going to erect when the wall gets put up.
And this is for the order in which they've died, if I'm
Exactly.
not mistaken,
It
right?
is not
From
alphabetical.
Yes.
It is not alphabetical. It is the way they died, exactly,
Yeah.
in the order.
And it goes from the earliest part of the war.
Right, all the way-
60, I'm not going to be clear on 61 or 2 or 3?
62. I think,
62.
Yeah.
All the way down to, what was it, 70?
Actually, there are
Two.
names that keep getting added onto the wall.
Yes.
So it's just a never-ending event. I mean, and when they put it's amazing. The only time in the year when they put names on that wall are on Memorial Day.
Oh, wow.
It's the only time. No other time during the year.
So, Chuck, one of the things that we're excited about is the opportunity to say the names. And we're going to have an opportunity for people of Santa Clarita. Now, it's not unlimited. We don't have unlimited space. But I want to tell you about that when we come back from this break. And grab a pen and paper, because this is important. You have to do this the right way, and this week is going to be the time that it's going to be released. So I'll get you those details on how you can actually be a part of this on a real special level when we come back. I'm Arif Halaby, along with Jeff Gerard and our special guest, Chuck Morris. Thanks for listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Hey, welcome back. Arif Halaby along with Jeff Gerard and Chuck Morris from the Friendly Valley Veterans Club. I want to get that right. Friendly Valley Veterans Club. Chuck is involved with the Traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall that's coming here to Santa Clarita September 26, 7, 8, 9. And it's an opportunity for you guys to take a look here. If you're looking on SCB TV, you're going to see one of the flyers that's out and about. You can go online, and we have a website for you as well. I'll give that to you in just a second. Grab a pen. But there are 58,238 names on this wall. And this wall is 80% of the original one in Washington, D.C.
Correct.
And so, Chuck, how many panels?
72.
72 panels,
72
5
panels,
feet wide.
5 feet wide. They range in height from 5 feet from 8 feet at the apex down to 2 feet actually at the end of each side. But they all still are all 5 foot, and they all have names that are etched into the wall.
And on both sides of these walls, it's etched in name. Is that right?
Right,
Both sides of the
exactly, both.
panel?
Just the front side, not the
The
back
front side, okay.
Yeah, the front side.
So the front side, but both sides, meaning
Yes, exactly,
from the,
the
V.
left and the
Got
right,
it. Okay, but not on the other side. So the other side is pure marble,
Right.
solid black marble. Is that what it is?
It's really not. It's not a marble. It's kind of an anodized aluminum to look like marble.
I see. Okay.
And because we're marble, it would really be heavy to
Yeah,
try and
for
put
sure.
together.
How could you pull
But-
that?
Yeah, but the way it's done is that there are channels, and each slide, or each panel goes into a channel
I see.
that's nailed into the asphalt.
Wow.
And then there's braces at the back part of it.
And so the original one in Washington, D.C., I think
That's
is
marble.
black marble.
That is black marble.
And this is a traveling Vietnam
Right.
War memorial wall. Now, this is why I wanted you to grab a pen, okay? We have a website for you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, one of them is AVTT, which was the one of the websites for the traveling wall. But we also have scvvietnamwall.com, and that's going to give you some more information on this event itself and give you the times and the dates. And we're also going to have some the ability for folks to sign up for something special, Arif, and I think we should talk about that today.
Yeah, let's fill you in on this, guys, because I think this is important. What Total Financial Solutions has done is we have put together the opportunity for you to help give tribute in a specific way, and that is reading their name. Now, this is what we mean by that. We're going to read their names beginning from the beginning of the time that it's here for 24 hours a day until every single name, 58,238 names are read. Now, that's a huge feat. So we have put together a team of people, and you're going to be part of it if you'd like, and that is a team of people to read the names. And we're going to be doing it, as we get closer, I'll give you the mechanics of how it's going to work. But we're going to need people at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, 10 in the evening, 9 in the morning, all day long until all 58,000 plus names have been read. You can team up with somebody if you'd like. You can select a particular time if it isn't taken. The calendar will be released in this week, towards the end of this week, early next week, and you will get information on how you can sign up for those times. Look, if you sign up and you put your name down, it'd be best if you had a partner, because there's going to be 2 people. It'll be alternating, so each of you will have 30 minutes, so you have to be able to talk for 30 minutes. We're expecting to get through 900 names for every 30 minutes that you're up there. Okay, so this is not something for your 8-year-old to help with. We're asking that at least somebody be 13 years old or more that can read names. That some of them are a little different from, Polish names, Arabic names. You might get all sorts of Asian names. You have to be able to read in advance. You will get your list, so you will know what names you're going to be reading. But we want people that have a reasonable grasp of the language to give right respect to these folks.
I would say stamina, too, because when you're talking, you don't realize how much energy you exert in doing that for a half hour at a time. If you're not used to it, just kind of have to think about
Right,
it.
especially in bright sunlight and during the daytime and whatever. Evening time would be a lot easier.
Yeah, we're working on having a canopy of some sort set up. We're working on having kind of a hospitality tent set up where there's going to be some light snacks and drinks and maybe some chairs or cots where you can lay down. Because remember, this is 24 hours a day. We think it's going to take a little less than 3 days, right? 2.5 days. And in addition to all of that, only the people that read the name are going to have a commemorative coin. And we are putting that coin together as we speak. It's been designed. We're working on some final touches. It'll go to print about a week from today or so. And it will now be a coin that is only distributed. It is numbered and assigned to each person. So we are not going to just give them out if you show up. You have to come in. You have to register ahead of time. You have to read their name, not just come up for 5 minutes. Not acceptable. Look, if these people died at 2 in the morning alone, you might be at 2 in the morning alone saying their name. Maybe your family will be in the audience, maybe nobody. But I think we should give just as much respect to the people that were alone when they passed away as the ones that were in the middle of the day, very convenient, right after dinner, my tummy's full. Not acceptable, folks. This is not child's play. This is the kind of respect that I think these men and women deserve.
Very good.
That's a big deal. So there will be, there is a website that we've created that's going to allow you to go and sign up. So it's going to be quite an official thing here. And we're going to have shifts, as Arif mentioned earlier. And I think we're going to have some details on that. I think you should share a little bit about that, Arif, on how it's going to work.
Yeah, there will be 2 people at a time. So if Jeff and I have the shift from 10 a.m. to 10:30, for example, we each have a list of names and we alternate. So I would say, Joe Smith. He would say Bill Johnson, James Jacobson. And we would go back and forth until our 30 minutes is up, for example, and we will get through all of our names. Now, we might go a little faster. Some will go a little slower. So you have to be flexible on the time. We'll give you those details. We'll need you to arrive early. You'll have to make sure you can stand. We may sit, we may stand. It's going to be up to you, but I want you to be fresh and alert. As Jeff was saying, stamina is very important.
It is a big deal. So there will be a website. We'll announce that here at some point of the hour and give you some opportunity to go and sign up for you and your partner to come up and do that, the reading of the names. I think it's a very honorable thing. We'll all be there, and we're going to be taking some of those shifts as well. So there will be a plenty at first, but please take heed to this. We're announcing this now well in advance because you can imagine the amount of interest we're going to have, especially in this valley. A lot of people will be signing up. So we'll have that information for you here momentarily, and you'll be able to sign that up.
And one thing that they don't have to worry about, there will be security 24 hours a day. So that if their appointed time is 3 o'clock in the morning, they don't have to worry. There are security guards that will be there.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Chuck Morris from the Friendly Valley Veterans Association, or
Veterans Club.
Veterans Club, I get that right. Here. Now, Chuck, why did you decide to do this? What was the reason for you to bring this to Santa Clarita?
I would love to tell you this story, and it'll take a few minutes, so maybe when we come back, it's kind of a cute story.
Perfect. We'll do that when we return, folks. Arif Halaby along with Jeff Gerard and special guest Chuck Morris. And you're listening to me, Total Financial Solutions, Safer Money Hour. I'm Arif Halaby. We'll be right back. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. Hey, welcome back. Arif Halaby along with Chuck Morris from the Friendly Valley Veterans Club, along with Jeff Gerard, Total Financial Solutions, Safer Money Hour, talking about giving a little bit back, right? Because sometimes when we're saving money, we're getting out of debt, we're managing our life financially, and you've done well. Everything's great. You look good, except you forget about a little bit of charity along the way. And I don't want you to do that, because for some of us, we get so busy, we forget that it's a good thing to give back, especially to the men and women that died in the Vietnam War, and folks that sometimes, and in some of these cases, many family members died. It wasn't just one; it was 2 and 3 and 4 of the siblings died, and so it's especially challenging, if you will, for some people to come and pay tribute. So we're going to expect there to be folks 24 hours a day coming by and taking a look at the wall. But give us a little bit of a recap of what this wall is all about.
Well, it's really kind of a funny story. I'm the commander of the Friendly Valley Veterans Club, and every Memorial Day I do a parade in Friendly Valley, and also I do a Memorial Day service. And I had heard of a moving wall that was in Lancaster. And I thought, what a great idea. I'll get a truck, I'll go there and get this moving wall, tow it up the freeway, and have it go down our Avenue of the Oaks in our parade on Memorial Day. Called them up, and first thing he said was, you have to reserve the 6 months in advance. I said, okay, well, maybe I'll do it next year. And by the way, he said, the wall that we have is 200 feet long.
Oh, my.
And I think, wait a second. I thought it was just like a float size that you get in the 1st of January Rose Parade kind of thing, you know.
Yes.
And I thought that would be great. So then I started to investigate because I really wanted to do this. Now, I'm a Korean veteran, so I am not a Vietnam veteran. But I wanted to do something for the veterans because this was a very unpopular war. And the veterans, when they came back, were treated so miserably and so horribly. It was a horror. And I wanted to do something for them. So I started to investigate about bringing a wall here. And I found one in Florida. And I emailed him, talked to him in Florida. And he said, you know, I don't come to the West Coast, but the American Veterans Traveling Tribute does, and so I contacted them and got the information that I needed to bring the wall, how much it would cost and such. And I got the idea to go to the city. So I went to our mayor, Bob Keller, who was a councilman at the time, because I've been working on this for well over a year. And I told him what I wanted to do. And his first comment was, I'm in. And I figured as long as the consummate said I'm
Yeah.
in, because he's a Vietnam vet anyhow,
He sure is.
that, I had a good chance of getting the city involved. And that's what we started to do from there on. Went to the city. We had meetings with the city, trying to find an area to put this wall. They suggested Central Park. And I thought, yeah, that would be great. However, parking, because there are going to be thousands of people,
Yeah.
lighting, and so on and so forth. Well, my wife had an appointment with the marketing manager of the Westfield Mall. And I said, I have an idea. I want to go with you. And I did. And after she had her meeting, I met with Jenna, who was the marketing manager at the time. And I said to her, I have an idea that will bring thousands and thousands of people to your mall, that will spend thousands and thousands of dollars in your mall, and it won't cost you a penny.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure
she
she's
looked
like,
at me like I was a Looney Tune.
Yeah, she's like,
I mean, if
in.
I came to you with something like that, and I told her what it was, and the first thing she says, we're in.
See, that gives, in Santa Clarita, you have known, folks, if you've lived here for any length of time, we're a very tight community. We care about America. We care about apple pie. We might have different political views now and again, but we're an organization built city and society that cares about our veterans. It's just the way it is. We care about our law enforcement community, our firefighters, and with that, this is your opportunity to come out and to be a part of it. Reading the names, we're going to have about 256 people. I expect to have a little bit of overflow as well, but about 256 people reading the names of the 58,238 people so that we can create a tribute where we read every single person's name who is on that wall. And you're going to be able to do that. And it's 24 hours a day, and it's going to go nonstop until every name is read. We're going to take a break for some, if there is a official program, if you will, where there might be some speeches or something like that. But as soon as it's over, we begin again, and we continue until every single name is read. It's going to take us about 3 days, 2.5 days, 3 days. The wall is here for 4 days. So we're going to need people to come up. We're going to have the Boy Scouts of America are going to be involved. We're going to have our veterans groups involved. We're going to have various people here in Santa Clarita. You, if you want to read the name, you got to send us an email, though. Okay, so I want to get you through this. Go to tfswealth.com. I know I'm shooting a lot of email web addresses for you, but this is specifically for reading the names. We're going to get the rest of it out there. There's going to be a lot of ways you can link to us, but if you go to TFS Wealth, it stands for Total Financial Solutions, so tfswealth.com, we'll give you a chance to sign up. Just shoot us an email, and we'll put you on the list, and so we can contact you and send you an email when the calendar goes live, because it's going to be a calendar system where you log in and you put your name down, and that's a temporary spot. We're going to talk with you, make sure that you understand the rules and understand what you're getting yourself into and all of that, and then we'll be happy to continue. Folks, it's a big deal. It's a big deal what Chuck and his organization have done. How many people are part of the Friendly Valley Veterans Club?
About 100 members of the Friendly Valley Veterans Club.
Well, you guys are doing something that's pretty exciting. The Traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall is coming to Santa Clarita September 26, 7, 8, and 9. And that's throughout the weekend, the last weekend in September. We expect thousands of people. If you have a business and you want to have a booth there present, I'm sure they can arrange that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have a small business or you have an organization that wants to have a booth, it's going to be an enormous event, folks, hitting a home run here in Santa Clarita. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to me, Arif Halaby, along with Jeff Gerard and Chuck Morris from Total Financial Solutions Safer Money Hour. This is Arif Halaby on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. Hey folks, welcome back. Arif Halaby along with Jeff Gerard on your place for news, talk, and information. Total Financial Solutions Safer Money Hour. Okay, we're talking to Chuck Morris. Chuck, recap a little bit for us, for those just joining us, on what's going on the last week in September.
Okay, in the last week in September, the moving AVTT Memorial Vietnam Wall will be here on display. It is open to the public 24 hours a day. We are going to have an event every evening. The event will start at 6 o'clock each evening. The opening, which is Thursday the 26th, we are going to have a flyover by the Condor Squadron. Buck McKeon will be here speaking. We've got various political speakers that are going to be speaking, not politically, but about veterans and
Sure.
veterans affairs and such. And every night there will be some type of an event at 6 o'clock, the 4 nights that it'll be here. It closes on Sunday, and we haven't determined the time. It just depends on how many people are going to still be here, you know, on Sunday to see the wall. It's surprising how many veterans will come 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because they don't want other people to see their emotions when they're looking at their friends and their comrades that are on the wall. We are going to have etching paper where people can actually pencil etch the names that are on the wall. We already have the papers, and what we have is computers set up, and the computer, you put in the name, and we're going to have volunteers to do this for them. You put in the name, and it'll tell you the panel and the line that name is on. We will furnish them with pencil and etching paper. We will put the wall panel number and the line number on it and have a volunteer take them to the particular panel and give them the etching paper and walk away and let them
Okay,
do
so
their
they're
etching.
so they're going to be allowed to etch
Oh, yeah,
themselves. Interesting.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then the veteran, the volunteer. We need volunteers as well, folks. We need, I don't know, over 100 volunteers,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
is what
well
we're
over
looking at,
100, yeah.
120, 150 volunteers to come out and to do everything. I mean, we're talking about all sorts of things. There's going to be a volunteer calendar that's set up that will be online, and we'll break it down into groups, and so you can see where it is that you might want to volunteer. Volunteers are going to be needed to walk the veterans, show them where the panel is and what number line it is. And then, as you said, Chuck, walk away.
Right, and then, I mean, if they want to, if they go online to scvvietnamwall.com, there's also a link to sign up for for volunteering also.
scvvietnamwall.com, and there's a link for calendars. That's for the volunteer,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Yes. We're going to have a link up by the end of the week or so, specifically on the calendar that will help you get to the calendar for reading the names. Now, that's completely separate than this volunteer calendar. This is specific. We have a specific time spot that's going to be needed. We're going to have individuals that are going to be reading the names 2 at a time. So we're going to have 2 people. They're going to alternate. If you saw the tribute there to 9/11, I think, is that right?
Mhm.
Where they did the same thing. Similar idea. Tribute to 9/11, except those were about 3,500 or so names.
Right.
This is going to be 58,238 names are going to be read, and it's going to be nonstop, 24/7, if you will, until they're all read. Should take about 2.5, 3 days. You're going to be needed to be a bit stamina up.
We're also going to need volunteers because we're having an essay contest through the library system here in Santa Clarita. There are 6 libraries in Santa Clarita. There are 3 county libraries and 3 city libraries. And during the month of August, there are about 2,000 4th, 5th, and 6th graders that have signed up for a reading program each year.
Mhm.
And so this year, we've worked it out with the library system where we're going to have this essay contest, title being, "What did the Vietnam War mean to the United States of America?" Now, of course, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders don't even know what you're talking about
Right.
because they don't even teach anything in any school about Vietnam at all. I don't care if you're in high school, wherever. And what we're going to do is we're going to have we're going to pick first, second, and third prize. And so we're going to need volunteers to read these essays.
Wow.
And what we're going to do for first prize is give a $1,000 savings bond. The second prize is $750 savings bond. And the third prize a $500 savings bond. Now, a kid at that age, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, if they win something, they want to be able to do something with it.
Sure.
Okay? You can't do anything with a savings bond for 9 years. So I've arranged with Magic Mountain to give them all kinds of passes and everything.
Oh, nice.
So that they can go and have,
That's neat.
a great time. So
Yeah.
that's another event that's that's going to be involved, that we do need volunteers to read, the essays.
Folks, you can go to scvvietnamwall.com, scvvietnamwall.com, and we'll be able to give you some updates on it. You'll be able to go through and figure out what's going on when it comes to your participation, your involvement. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to me, Arif Halaby, along with Jeff Gerard and Chuck Morris, on your place for news, talk, and information. Total Financial Solutions, Safer Money Hour. Thanks for listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. All right, we're back. Arif Halaby along with Jeff Gerard at Total Financial Solutions, Safer Money Hour, talking about your family's finances. Hey, this is a time to give back just a little bit, whether you're giving back a little bit of time or a little bit of money, because the Traveling Vietnam War Memorial Wall is coming to Santa Clarita September 26, 27, 28, and 29. All through the weekend, there's going to be programs, there's going to be events, and we're going to need people to volunteer in all sorts of ways. Chuck, tell us some of the areas that people can volunteer for this.
They can volunteer because we need, we're going to have 24-hour day security, so we're going to need people that would like to be involved with security. We're going to have people that are going to be giving information, directing other people to various areas. We need people to work computers, people to run errands, as an example, people to take, people that want to do their pencil etchings to the site where their name is. Those are type of volunteers that we need. And, we need this 24 hours a day because there are going to be people that are going to be there 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And
who are some of the companies that have stepped up so far? I'd like to just give them a bit
gosh,
recognition.
as a matter of fact, I'll tell you, we've got, if you like, on our thing, first of all, one of our largest sponsors is the Southern California Gas Company.
Yeah, Mike Mizrahi,
yeah.
he has done so much for various charity organizations. I know he represents the gas company and, of course, is on their behalf, but he's a stellar guy. Steps up.
Exactly. And then, of course, the radio station here, Westfield Mall. And then we've got the Automobile Dealers Association. We have you guys. We've got the Chopi is going to be doing all of our photography for the...
yeah, folks. Gary and Robin
Yep.
Chopet, if you've not seen some of their work, wonderful people. And Gary is going to be involved, I think, in taking a lot of the
Exactly, right.
pictures. Yeah.
And then we've got the SCV Veterans Memorial Committee, the ones that for the memorial in New Hall. UPS, I've arranged with a friend of mine who is a regional manager for UPS, that the UPS guys are going to all get together and they're going to erect the wall and take the wall down. So there's going to be all UPS people. That are gonna
So,
be doing
look, ladies, some of you have always wanted to see these
this. Yeah.
very fit men in
Yeah,
shorts.
exactly.
If it's warm enough, they'll be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then
all
we've got
kidding aside.
Avis of SCV. We've got Andy Gump, of course. We've got Mission Valley Bank. We've got the U.S. Bank. Bank of Santa Clarita is involved. So there are many, many, many people in our community that are actually, involved in this event.
Folks, you can still get involved if it's you or your company. And a couple of things you can do. First of all, there's a calendar up at scvvietnamwall.com. SCV stands for Santa Clarita Valley, right? scvvietnamwall.com. Sign up. There's a calendar there for regular volunteer work. A completely separate calendar is going to be available for reading the names of the men and women that died. We're going to do that 24/7. That calendar will be going live towards the end of the week. There's going to be spots available for you to fill in. Better if you are with a partner. Certainly we can match you up, though. If you're going to be by yourself, that's not a problem at all. There's going to be a commemorative coin that is being minted specifically for the people that read the names. Don't come and ask us for one for your cousin or your brother or your sister's overseas and her son or husband passed away. We want to honor those people, but we're going to give those coins out only to those that have taken a shift and read the names. The shifts are about 30 minutes long. It's not easy. It isn't. And it's all night long, all day long. And we're going to be pairing it up and going back and forth.
And when we're talking about, you mentioned some ceremonies in the evening, Chuck, towards 6 p.m. Outside of that, do you have any other scheduled times where people might want to volunteer and there'll be some more populated parts of the ceremonies?
Really, we do need to have people there all the time, I mean, because we have no idea what time of day is the most people will be there. It's on a weekend, of course, so they'll be coming to the mall, or they'll be driving up Magic Mountain Parkway and say, "Oh my gosh, look what that is!" You know,
Right.
that a lot of people don't know. What we're doing is we're hoping that people will be coming from outside of our community. The reason that I really wanted to put this on the Westfield Town Center Mall was I don't care where you live in the United States, people know Magic Mountain.
They
That's
sure
right.
do.
And when you mentioned it's going to be on Magic Mountain Parkway, they know where that is. So it makes it a lot easier for the people outside of our community.
And look, Westfield Valencia Town Center, although it's a little different than the way it used to be as far as corporate ownership, and some things have changed over the years. If you're familiar with Santa Clarita, you've seen some changes. But let me tell you, they have stepped up in this organization, the Friendly Valley Veterans Association, and they have created numerous times over the years opportunity to give back to Santa Clarita, and this is one of them. And so we want to thank Westfield for that as well. Of course, the city of Santa Clarita is always generous with their time, and it sounds like Bob Keller got involved right away. Was
Yes,
one of the
he did.
first ones.
Absolutely. He's one of the first responders, as a matter of fact. And the other thing that's really kind of neat is that the signal now is involved, which is kind of something different with their new ownership and whatever. We're not community involved until now, and they really are. And it's nice to have that newspaper back in the community again.
Well, this is certainly a first step. I know they created an adversarial
Yes, they
relationship
did,
with a
yeah.
lot of people,
Right.
us included.
Yep.
Right? We're not fans of the way certain business dealings were done, but it sounds like they're trying to come back into
Exactly.
caring about the community. That's a good thing. We're going to also be putting up a calendar. You can go to tfswealth.com. Now, that's our website. TFS stands for Total Financial Solutions. tfswealth.com. Send us an email. We'll get you an email back, and we're going to send out a blast to everybody that we have on our system that says, hey, the calendar is live. Here's a link. You can go in and sign up, and then we will call to confirm, right? So you're not going to just sign up and then that's it, show up on the day. No. There's going to be a list of instructions. There's going to be a confirmation. There might even be, a minute or two interview, if you will, because we have to make sure it's done properly, and this is a big deal.
And how many slots do you think we have, Arif? Because we have 58,000 plus names, and we're going to be reading it in shifts. About how many do you think there are, just to kind of give people an idea?
Yeah, we're looking at about 256, if you do the math on that, and there's probably going to be room for a few more than that. But 256 will take us pretty solid. And look, if you want to sign up for 2 spots, I'm just going to ask that you not do that at this time. Just sign up for 1. Let everybody get a chance to do that. We'll publish it for a while, and then once everybody has a chance to do it, then they'll turn around and we'll say, okay, it's open for people to take 2 spots because some may want to do that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I bet that a lot of spots are going to get gobbled up pretty early on. So that's why we're forecasting this, letting everybody know that it's going to be in a couple months from now. But really the idea is to kind of have this on your radar, save the date. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on in the meantime. You can always sign up, as we said, at scvvietnamwall.com, as Chuck had mentioned, to volunteer in other areas. A separate sign up will be for the reading of the names. And so you can always go to our website, TFS Wealth, stands for Total Financial Solutions Wealth.com, and that can give you some information. Arif, anything else you want to add with that?
Well, I think, folks, pay attention to a couple of things. KHTS and hometownstation.com. Sign up for the news alerts and the emails. Go to hometownstation.com. There's going to be updates regularly put out so you can see what's going on with the Vietnam War Memorial Wall. And you can also go online, by the way, completely separate, and find out where on the wall, what panel, what line, your loved one or somebody you knew is located. And if that's the case, when you sign up on the calendar and you want to say their name, let us know. We're going to be doing it in order. So it's going to start from 1962 or so. We're going to be going through that entire list. So if there is somebody towards the beginning or towards the end, we'll try our best to fit you in, but we cannot make promises just because the names are going to be all over the place there, and we're going to be getting it in. It's very, very systematic. So if you're willing to say at any time, I need to say this name, you might be at 4:30 in the morning on Fridays and have to go to work in a couple of hours. And if you're willing to do that, then fantastic. But just know the names fall kind of where they do. Okay. Go to tfswealth.com. You've heard us mention that. That is sending us specifically for the reading. And look, Jeff, we have that coin that's pretty cool.
Well, and that's really the kind of the key. Thank you, if we can, for the folks that are going to come out and read the names, because it will be arduous. Like Arif said, it's not going to be easy. You're going to stand up and talk for a while, and it's a wonderful way to honor those that died in the war. And we thought that's a special thank you, because these are numbered coins, and they're going to be authentic, and no one else in the world will have them the way you have them.
Yes, folks. Give us a call if you'd like. You can go to hometownstation.com, click through Total Financial Solutions, and get all of our information. I want to thank you for coming, Chuck.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're going to see more of Chuck in the days to come on your place for news, talk, and information. This is Total Financial Solutions Safer Money Hour. Always come at this time on SCV TV and, of course, on hometownstation.com.